Good evening. I'm telling about the continuation of yesterday. Yesterday I told you about this forfeiture of shares. Forfeiture is nothing but cancellation of shares. Cancellation means when the public persons when they are not in a position to pay the complete amount of the share, and when they pay the application money and allotment money, automatically the company people they will keep the shares with them, and they will send three reminders, and these three reminders will call them as share warrants. The person who paid the application money and allotment money has to give a response to any one of the share warrants. Okay, suppose if he won't give, the company people they have a right to cancel that. So that is nothing but forfeiture of shares. And what is the entry for this forfeiture of shares? The entry for forfeiture of shares is share capital account data to shares forfeited account to different calls account. When it is allotment, then also we have to include this allotment, because some people they will pay the application money only, they won't pay the allotment money as well as the call monies. So there you have to add the share allotment also along with various calls. Okay, and the various shares and the various shares forfeited by the company, they are eligible for reissue. And when they are going for reissue, either they issue the shares either at par or at discount or at premium. Generally they will issue at discount, they won't issue at par or they won't issue at premium. In rare circumstances they will do that, but generally they will issue the shares at discount. So that is nothing but reissue of forfeited shares. So when you go for this reissue of shares, what is the entry that will come across? Bank account data, shares forfeited account data to various calls and to share capital. So here also you will come across this. Okay. Generally you won't come across the various calls, but you will come across the share capital. That is, share capital is to be credited. Bank account data, shares forfeited account data to share capital account. Like this, the entry will come. And what is the difference between the shares forfeited account? What we have to do? Whatever it may be, the difference that we come across in shares forfeited account, it should be transferred to capital reserve. It should be transferred to capital reserve. In some cases, it will be transferred to goodwill account also. This is about the company issue of shares completely. And after this, we are going for an important topic, that is nothing but issue of debentures. So what is a debenture? Why company people they'll prefer to go for debentures? When any company when it wants to raise long term funds, then they will issue one instrument, and that instrument is nothing but debenture. In simple words, debenture is nothing but a loan certificate given by a company to the public, and they will acknowledge that they are taking the amount in the form of loan. And when they are taking that in the form of loan, naturally it is the customary duty of the company to pay some interest amount, and this interest amount they have to pay yearly only, yearly only. So there won't be any, okay, other cases like half year interest or quarterly interest, like that there won't be. Okay, they have to pay an annual interest. And the company people they will ask the public how much interest you are anticipating. If the public, if they tell that we want this much amount of interest, so when it is feasible to the company, then the company people will give that amount of interest. When it is not feasible to the company, then the company people they will pay only 6%, not more than that. And this debenture interest amount, the rate of debenture interest amount, which will be prefixed. it will be prefixed to the debentures. That is, for example, 6% debentures. That 6% it denotes that they are going to get only interest at 6% on the debentures. Whatever it may be the amount of debentures, whatever it may be the amount of debentures, they are going to get only 6%. This is nothing but debenture. And another thing is, here in debentures, how many types of debentures we will come across? Generally, we will come across six types of debentures. Okay, six types of debentures. What are the six types of debentures? Cumulative debentures. Cumulative debentures means the people, okay, whatever it may be, the interest the company people they are giving, they won't take. They will say that keep that amount. So automatically what will happen is the debenture interest as well as the debentures amount, they will be added and it will become the total amount. And again on the total amount they have to calculate again the interest amount. So that is nothing but cumulative debentures. Non-cumulative debentures. Okay, as and when the company people they declare the interest amount, the public they will take away the interest. They will take away the interest. They won't add that to the debenture amount. So that type of debentures they are non-cumulative debentures. And next thing is redeemable debentures and irredeemable debentures. So what are redeemable debentures? What are irredeemable debentures? We are going to know about that. Redeemable debentures means as and when the public wants their amounts back, the company people they have to pay interest up to the date of payment. Okay, it may be at any time. It may be at the end of the year or in the middle of the year. At any time, the public, when they ask about the debentures amount for for repayment, then the company people they have to pay the debenture amount along with interest amount. That is nothing but redeemable debentures. Now coming to irredeemable debentures. Irredeemable debentures means they will be paid interest, they will be paid interest only, but they won't pay the debenture amount. And when they are going to pay the amount, when the company is set to be closed, when the company is going to be closed, then only they will pay the debentures. That type of debentures we will call them as, okay, irredeemable debentures. Next thing is bearer debentures. Okay, what are these bearer debentures? Bearer debentures are those debentures, okay, to whom they are holding the debentures. For those people only the interest amount and the principal amount will be paid. For example, a debenture holder, he had taken some debentures from the company. When the company is issuing debentures, okay, they will give some coupons, and those coupons we will call them as interest coupons. And after that, when A requires some money, he can give the debentures to B, who is going to pay the amount, and A has to hand over the debenture certificates along with interest coupons. And the person B, he is going to get the debenture interest as well as debenture amount. So this type of debentures we will call them as bearer debentures. And the last one is registered debentures. Okay, the company people they will maintain a register, and that register will call that thing as ROD. ROD stands for register of debentures. Those persons whose names are written in the register, for those people only the debenture interest as well as the debenture amount will be paid, not to any other person. Okay, and suppose if that person, if he expires, his legal representatives they can take the amounts, that is the interest amount as well as the principal amount. Like this you will come across debentures. And what is the debenture between a share and a debenture? This is a very very important thing. People they are getting confused with this difference between shares as well as debentures. A share is a segment, and a share is nothing but a part and parcel of the capital, whereas debenture is not at all a part and parcel of the capital amount. Shareholders, the persons who are holding the shares, we will call them as shareholders, and shareholders are the owners of the company, whereas debentures are just creditors, just like creditors. And the shareholders have the right to vote in any meeting, whereas debenture holders, they don't have any right to vote in any meetings or anything. Okay, the shareholder can ask, if he gets any doubt, he can ask, so why this expenditure is increased, why the income is decreased, what happened to the sales, what happened to the purchases, what is the profit amount, why it is decreased from previous year to current year. All these questions the shareholders have a right to ask to the managing director or to the finance manager, and they are supposed to tell the correct clarifications for that. But whereas debentures, they have no right to ask. They have no right to ask. The shareholders, they will get a share of profit in the form of dividend, at the end of the financial year, whereas debenture holders, they will get the interest amount at the regular intervals, that is, at the end of a financial year they are going to get. And debenture holders, they will have, I told you already, the debenture holders, they don't have any voting right. They'll just come, they'll sit in the AGM, and then they'll go away. But whereas a shareholder, it is not, he is not like that. Okay, he can ask so many questions to clarify his doubts. And whatever it may be the shareholder, okay, it is the duty of the managing director and the finance minister to answer the questions whatever left by the shareholder. But debenture holders, they won't. Shareholders, they will have proxies. Okay, who is a proxy, sir? A legal representative of a shareholder, will call him as proxy. When the shareholder, when he cannot able to attend the AGM, annual general meeting, he will send the representatives, and those representatives, will call them as proxies. And proxies duty is to attend the meeting and to hear what was going on. They have no right to talk, they have no right to question the managing director or the finance manager. Just like proxies, the debenture holders, they will come, they will sit, and they will hear, but they have no right to talk in the AGM, annual general meeting. This is the difference between a share and a debenture. And a share, it will stay up to the closure of the company. A shareholder, he has to stay, okay, in the company, okay, whenever the company is going to be closed, until then he has to stay. Meanwhile, when the share value, when it increases, he can sell. He can sell to any other person. But when you go for debenture holders, some debenture holders, they have to stay in the company until it is closed. That is the differences between a shareholder and a debenture holder. Okay, in order to raise, long-term funds, funds, the company people, they'll go for debentures, because whatever it may be the shares that they are going to issue, and whatever it may be the amount that they receive, okay, it may not be sufficient. So in that case, they'll go for this debentures. And I told you about different types of debentures. And when you go for this debentures, one thing you have to keep in mind is the debentures must be repaid. That repayment, will call that thing as redemption of debentures. A redemption of debentures is nothing but repayment of debentures. Okay, repayment of debentures, that is redemption of debentures, it may take place And before that, the public people, they will go for at what price you are going to redeem the shares. At what price you are going to redeem the shares. So we can say that it is nothing but a due entry. Okay, redemption is the next step, but redeemable debentures is the first and primary most. And the company people, they will they will agree to redeem the shares either at par value or at premium or at discount. Okay, when they receive, when they are going to receive at par value, okay, okay, they will ask, you see, you are giving us the debenture certificates. When we want money, at what prices, at what rates you are going to pay us, whether you are going to pay at face value, or whether you are going to pay at a premium, or whether you are going to pay at a discount. Like this, they will ask the company people, and it is the duty of the company people to answer for that. Okay, so redeemable debentures. It is the first and foremost thing that we will come across in issue of debentures. Now, you may ask me, sir, how the debentures will be issued? Same as shares. How the shares are issued? That is the mode of payments. Okay, application, allotment, first call, and final call. How you come across when you come across issue of shares, in the same way the debentures are also issued. The thing is, in the place of shares, you will come across debentures. In the place of shares, you will come across debentures. Remaining procedure is one and the same. Remaining procedure is one and the same. When you issue shares, you have to prepare share capital account and bank account. And when you are going for debentures, you have to prepare debentures account as well as cash or bank account. Okay, everything is one the same, but thing is the names only will change. There, instead of keeping share capital, you have to write debentures. That's all. There is a matter. And when the public, when they issue, okay, when they give the money, and when the company people, when they are taking, okay, first thing is bank account data to debentures account. One thing you have to keep in mind is the interest amount will be prefixed. The interest amount will be prefixed. For example, bank account data 5 lakhs to 6% debentures account 5 lakhs. That is, the company people, they have decided to give 6% interest, okay, to the debenture holders, and the debenture amount is 5 lakhs. So like this you will come across when you are going for journal entries. And after this you will come across the redeemable debentures, that is when they issue at par value and when it is redeemable at par value, how it is. Okay, when it is issued at discount value and when it is given at premium, how it is, like that you will come across. So when you come across premium, automatically the company people, they have to suffer. Generally they will suffer. So loss on redemption of debentures, that word will come. Loss on redemption of debentures will appear always on the asset side of the balance sheet, whereas premium on issue of debentures will appear as a liability. That is nothing, premium is nothing but a reserve, so it will appear on the liability side of the balance sheet. Like this you will come across. And with this I am going to stop, and remaining things I am going to discuss in the next class. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel if you like this. Okay, thank you.